the phone number in case anybody wants to call in. If you want to call in live and chat with me on this, share what your experiences are. If you are feeling like you're struggling in some way with enslavement, perhaps you're going to be even one of the honest ones. It's like, shit, I think I've been enslaving someone. I think I've been projecting my need for power on someone because I've lost control. And you know what? Be brave and see that. It takes huge courage to see that. And I honor those who have courage that can see what they're doing, because the only way we're going to heal and shift is if we can see. We cannot change anything if we stay in denial. So the number, if you want to call, is 919-518-9773. And again, you can also Skype into Computers 2K Voice. So if you guys want to call in, I'll give you a little opportunity for that. Is there a way you can play a song, Amnon, or is that not possible?
I mean, technically it's possible, but YouTube will flag it, and I don't like to do that because it's like a slap.
Okay. Because they're like,
we can play
which I would see it as promoting their song.
I know. That's not how they look at it.
Yeah.
And
if you guys get a chance.
We can play it before the show or after the show once we stop recording.
Okay. What I'm feeling is just, you guys could go and look it up, but it's Hoobastank. It's like HOOBSTANK. And the song is The First of Me. And I truly, like, when I meditate, I see myself one day walking out on a stage with thousands of people in the audience that are coming to get pumped up and be, come back into their liberation and their empowerment. And I see myself walking out to that song. I think it's going to be Tanya's theme song. But it's awesome. And the point of it, though, is to really live authentically. And if you think about how often we are tempted to not do that, how from birth we are told to betray ourselves, to betray our own knowing, to betray our own feelings, our own guidance. And like, as a teacher, I was in yoga today, and I'm doing a yoga teacher training, and the same energy is coming up where I was expressing to my client, I'm not here to teach you to do yoga Tanya's way. And there's a lot of yoga teachers who really think that, who are like, you need to do it like me. You need to say it like this. You need to do it repeatedly like a robot, just like me. And it is ego. It is not empowerment. It is not freedom. It is not creation. And I feel like when we're the most happy is when we are in our alignment as a creator. And that is when we are expressing from our own inner self-knowing, our own inner truth, and our own intuition, inspiration. So as a yoga teacher, if I'm training teachers, there's going to be things I'm teaching them as Tanya. I'm teaching them, alignment. I'm teaching them how to express and how to find their way. But overall, the ultimate thing I'm teaching them is to listen to their own inner teacher, to realize that they have the inner knowing that is so strong and deep, and they need to start connecting with it. When I'm working with healing clients, they come to me for guidance and counsel, and I help them, but I empower them. I help them start asking questions to themselves. I help them to start looking deep and exploring their own inner knowingness, start to connect with their own truth. How do they express it in their own authentic way? They don't need to all become healers like Tanya to be authentic and empowered. I wouldn't even expect that. That would be crazy. When souls come, there may be one girl comes and she's going to be a writer one day, and she's going to find, a bug just flew in. She's going to find her way to express Spirit's truth in her through her writing. Someone else will find a way to do that through their music. Someone else will find a way to do that through dancing. Someone else may find a way to do that through like an internet show. So however you find a way to express and be authentic, that's key. If I'm angry and I pretend to always be happy, that is going to make me miserable. And I'm not going to be able to fake people out too long, because that energy and emotion is going to keep rising. So people that watch me, they see probably 98% time Tanya is pretty happy, high vibration. But every now and then, some energy comes in to challenge and try to hook in my energy, or try to control me, try to abuse or hurt someone close to me or myself. And that's when I express in my warrior, I'm angry, and this is not going to happen. And that's important, If I didn't feel I was allowed to do that, I feel like that would be so unhealthy. And I know it would be, not just from theory, but because I've lived it. There's been a lot of my life where I lived silently. I felt I was told, no one wants to hear about that, Tanya. No one wants to hear about angels, Tanya. That's kind of weird. You should just be quiet. No one needs to hear about that healing, Tanya. Even though you have that intuition, it doesn't mean it's real. You just need to keep it to yourself. I have been controlled most of my journey, told that what I feel and what I know was wrong. And I used to believe it, and I used to struggle so much with my self-worth and my self-esteem. I had totally messed up self-confidence issues because of that constant giving of my power, giving it away. And I say giving because when we're in a really empowered alignment, we can see that we are not victims. We choose to give our power away. We do. I could have, when that woman came and projected on me and told me what I should do, I could have just said, oh, okay, you're right. What should I do? And then I just go and start doing what she says to do. How many times do we do this a day? If you're at work and your boss comes in a nasty mood and they're rah, 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 and they're like, do it this way, and they're kind of shaming you and degrading, how many of you have the courage and the balls to stand up and say, hey, I am not going to be talked to like that. I would love to help you, but I am not here to be treated like that. I am not your slave. And a lot of you won't do it only because you're afraid. You're afraid of what you'll lose. But I promise you, from my own experience, that when you start to stand up to these ones who are in a misalignment, and you start to challenge them and shine the light on them, it doesn't mean you fight with them. You're not mean to them. You just shine the light on what they're doing. You help them to see how they've slipped out of alignment. This is love. This is actually what love is. A lot of us are very twisted in what we think love is. We think if I love someone, then I don't tell them that, and I just cater to their misalignment, and I walk on eggshells because I don't want to cause trouble, and then that way they love me, and then there's no issues. Do you know how many relationships, how many clients I help with healing of relationship issues that are birthed just like that? Because they are not in their power, and they've now given their power away for so long, this soul actually expects them to give them their power. And so now there's bigger and deeper issues coming up in the relationship. So we have to start addressing it right away, and we need to start today, not procrastinate it another day. Start right now. Someone comes in and yells at you and they're out of alignment. Hey, no need to talk to me like that. I'd be happy to help you with whatever you need, but you need to speak to me with respect. Oh, Ralph, you need to leave. You're fired. All right, so be it. You accept it, you move forward, you grow, and you find a better aligned situation. If you're in a relationship, same thing's happening. Big picture, the biggest fear you have is that the worst thing, honestly, is that you stay stuck in that enslavement. It doesn't matter how long you stay there. It's going to get worse and worse and more uncomfortable. The most important part is standing up to it and daring to step into your liberation. And in being in that space of freedom is going to bring you joy. And I've had jobs leave. I've had relationships leave. I've even had people that weren't my clients, but that wanted to work with me at first, and then they were just out of alignment. They were not in a place of honor or integrity. And I just said, I'm not the one to work with you. And then, I don't like you. You're a fake healer. Okay. Just because I won't let you control me, if you want to call me that, so be it. Off with you. So we have to get to this place where we're comfortable and being who we are, and we're not catering to what others think of us. Is anybody writing in? Because I was going to read a story if I have a little bit of time.
No, I posted the link to the YouTube to the song.
Thank you.
And Jody said thank you. That's it.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to read you guys a children's book if you're open. It's a little out of the box today, but I've actually read this children's story to so many of my clients this week and in workshops because Spirit was like, read them that book. And I've had this children's book for years. It was a book that my children were given when they were little.
You work with kids?
What's that?
You work with kids?
Yeah, I've worked with everybody. Yep. But I actually have been this week, I've been reading this children's story. It's called You Are Special. don't know if you guys can see it. And I've been reading it to my clients that are adult clients. And I feel like one thing I love about children's stories is that they're so simple in their point and in their truth. And overall, the message of this book, actually, maybe I'll just summarize the book and I'll let you guys get it if you want to, because I can go through what it is. But it's basically, it's called You're Special. Good. It's by Max Lucado, I think, Lucado. And what it is it's a story about what I teach as a meditation teacher about connecting with Source. And so in the storybook, it's kind of written in the storyline, kind of like it's about a bunch of wooden people. And the creator, the wood carver, represents, to me, it represents Source, or you could call it God, but it's the creator. All the wooden puppets are humanity. And so there's a puppet in the story that, you know, it talks about how in this society, all these wooden people, they will give each other stars or dots. And so if the little puppets or wooden people are good, and if they're talented, if they're pretty, they get a star. And if they're not, if their wood's chipped, or if they fall, they say something silly, they get a dot. And so throughout the journey, there's some puppets that have lots and lots of stars. Everyone loves them. It's like our society. Movie stars, oh, you get a star. We like you. You're pretty. You are talented. We love you. We will listen to anything you have to say. Someone that stumbles, they fall, you get a dot. You get a dot. The more dots you get, you start to feel comfortable hanging around other people with lots of dots. This could be like the journey of a criminal. They're like told they're bad when they're in school. They're told they're a loser. You're a screw up. They start to believe it. Then they start only hanging out with others who have also been told this, and it starts to create a different shift of where they feel they belong. So in the story, there's a girl who, when I read this story to my children years ago, I knew that is who Tanya is going to emulate. I am going to be like that girl because she understands wisdom. And in the book, her name is Lucia. And Lucia is a girl that people will come up to her, the wooden people will come and try to put stars on her because she's pretty, and they fall off. They come and try to put dots on her because she doesn't have any stars, and they fall off. And no matter what, they try to stick these marks on her, and they won't stick. And this puppet, the book is named Punicello, the story. He sees her, and he's just in awe of that. He's like, how is that possible? How come none of the marks are sticking on her? So he gets to know her. He asks her, what's going on? Like, how come when they stick these stars and dots, they don't stick? And she was like, well, every day I meet with the wood carver, and you should meet him. And he's just like, well, where is he? So he ends up going to meet the wood carver. He's a little nervous about it because he's not sure that he's worthy. And when he goes to see the wood carver, it's a little overwhelming. It's this big shop with, all the tools that he makes the puppets with. And when he's there, the wood carver sees him, calls him by name, and is so glad to see him and says he's been waiting to see him for a long time. And so Punicello is asking questions, and he's trying to get to know what the wood carver's about. And the wood carver sees he has all these dots on him. And so he's like, I see you got a lot of marks there. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess, I tried. I've been trying to do my best. And the wood carver says to him, it doesn't matter what all the other, they're called what are they called? The Webbits or Wemmicks. They're the Wemmicks is what the name of the people, the wooden people are. And he's like, it doesn't matter what the other Wemmicks think. All that matters is that you know that I love you and that you're special. And that I created you, and I don't create mistakes. And so he's visiting with the wood carver. This is the symbol of each of you plugging into Source. You're in meditation. You're in your prayer time, not just talking, but listening, connecting, having your vibration raised, tuning into higher consciousness to find solution, to find the answers, to find the guidance, to come into that higher vibration, to receive healing, to receive wholeness, to visualize your abundance, to visualize your healthy relationships and create them in that conscious little bubble of creation. When we're in meditation, it's such a powerful place. And so the book is representing that. When this girl, Lucia, goes to visit the wood carver, source, she's connecting, she realizes she's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's worthy, she's powerful, and that all these other societal beings that are out of alignment, that are not visiting the woodcarver, that are walking around giving each other marks like, let me give you a compliment because there's something in it for them, and they want to give you something to probably get something. And the ones that don't like you, they come and put a dot on you because you don't look like them, you don't think like them.